Hi, this is Kim from Made by Mommy, and today I'm going to teach you how to take my poppy charm, which was posted on my channel months ago, and connect a whole bunch of them together to make a really cool bracelet or a flower garland that your dolls can wear. To make this bracelet, you will need 18 loom bands per flower. 16 for the main color of the flower and 2 for the color that you want in the center. To begin, take a single rubber band in the color you want your first flower to be and stretch it in the center row. Then take 2 at a time of that same color from the center row to the side, and another 2 from the center to the other side. Next, add 2 more rubber bands from the side straight on both sides. And then from the sides into the center. Then take a single band of the color you want your next flower to be and stretch it from this peg forward. And then again, 2 going out, 2 straight, and 2 coming back to the center. And on the other side as well, from the center to the side, straight, and from the side to the center. Then a single band in the color you want your next flower to be. I'm making a pattern for this bracelet with just 2 colors of flowers, and for my bracelets I like for them to be 8 flowers long, so I'm going to need to construct half of the bracelet at a time to use my single loom twice. If you have 2 looms that you can connect together end to end, then go ahead and do that so that you can make it all at once. Single rubber band to connect to the next flower, and then 2 at a time. I'm using my Wonder Loom now that was designed by Chun, the inventor of the rainbow loom. It's sold in different locations. And I'm using it, you can use your rainbow loom or your Cra-z-loom. I'm using it because the clear background I think helps you to see the pattern of rubber bands better. So that is the initial setup of the outside structure of the band. We're going to want to add on this peg now a single cap band that matches the flower. I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. Depending on the type of rubber bands you have, you may want to do either 2 or 4, but for these, which are the Rainbow Loom brand opaque, 3 works well. Now we need to construct the center of our flowers, and to do that you're going to need your hook. You're going to need 2 rubber bands in the color you want the center of the flower to be. You're going to wrap those bands around your hook 3 times. And then you're going to take 2 rubber bands that match the color of your flower, pull those tight, and then pull these tripled over bands to the center. like that. Once you have those secure, you're going to take both sides of the rubber band on top and stretch that diagonally across your flower. Then you can take the other two bands and stretch that diagonally across to the other corners, like that. And we're going to repeat that same process for each of the flowers in our row. So starting, taking two black bands, wrapping them around my hook 3 times, then taking 2 rubber bands, pulling them tight, and tugging that tripled over band up and over the end of the hook so that it is centered on those bands that are the color of my flower. And then taking care to stretch both sides of the same rubber band. If you pulled 2 sides of the others, it would come apart, and you'll have to start over. So twist like that, and repeat again. Once you have the center of your flowers in place, the flowers are going to require a cap band each, but not until after you've hooked the band that connects them. It's how you cover up the color. So we're going to begin looping our bands from this first cap band at the bottom, pulling back with our hook to catch the 2 bands on top, and bring them up and to the left, and then the other side as well. And we're going to loop around the outside of each of these flowers. So once you've looped the band that goes from this flower to that one, then you're going to add a cap band to match the color of the next flower and to help hide the color of the previous flower. So you put that on and then stretch back your cap band to catch the 2 rubber bands on top, to bring them to the side, and then you do the other side and continue up and around this flower as well. And reaching in here to get the single band that goes forward, bringing it to the next peg, and then placing a cap band to match this flower. Now that we finished looping all of the bands, we'll remove this half of the bracelet from here. Don't create a knot in these two bands because you're going to need them to connect to the other half of your bracelet. So now we would lay the rubber bands out in the same exact pattern across the loom, but instead of a cap band on that final peg, you would slide these two bands over and then put a cap band on top. We've now completed the placement of rubber bands for half of the bracelet, and we're going to start setting up the rubber bands for the other half. And you just want to be thoughtful of the pattern of flowers to make sure that the color at this end will be the opposite of the color that is first in your pattern. So if you're doing two, it'll be exactly the same. If you're doing 3 different colors, you'll have to plan ahead to know which flower comes next. We need our hook to make the center of the flowers, so we're going to take this half of the bracelet off of our hook and stretch these 2 loops over this end of the bracelet. Then we can add our cap band here, a single rubber band, twist it around 3 times. There. And then build the center of our flower, taking our 2 black rubber bands, wrapping them around 3 times, pulling 2 rubber bands in the color of the flower tight so that you can pull that tripled over band to the center, and then stretching out the 2 bottom bands to opposite corners, and then the 2 top bands to the others, and repeating for the final 3 flowers in your chain. Once all your bands are in place, bring your hook to the bottom and begin looping, just like you did before, catching the 2 bands that go to the side, and then the 2 bands that go to the other side. I just dropped one of them. That's okay. I'm going to put the one in place, and then you see it right here. I'm going to pull that over. And it's fine. Keep on going. And again, we need to remember to place the cap band at the start of the next flower. So now that these are in place, I can take the rubber band that matches this flower and place a cap band here. And then continue looping up the rest of the flowers. Once you've completed connecting all of your bands, you'll take a C-clip or an S-clip, whichever you have available, and connect it to the 2 bands on the end here. And then you're ready to remove your entire bracelet from the loom. And you're going to connect that C-clip to the cap band of the first flower in the chain. Try and catch at least 2 rubber bands, like that. And then your bracelet is ready to wear. If you like this bracelet, please give this video a thumbs up below. And let me know which of my charms from my channel you would like to see me turn into a bracelet next. I hope you'll consider subscribing. Lots more fun designs planned for the coming weeks. Thank you so much for looming with me today, and I look forward to seeing you back on my channel again soon. Do you see that? Look at that. That rubber band just broke while it was on the loom. That is unusual.